There's a huge frustration when you're talking about live concert, because everyone else knows that we're never going to be able to have that ever again, you know, so that's you're
well, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
no,
I know that's not your fault particularly, but
no,
we blame the singer.
I didn't blame anybody. I said it wasn't my fault.
No, I know, I'm doing it on your behalf. It's a frustration, Jimmy, isn't it, really? I'm just speaking on behalf of the country here.
Hey, listen, Simon, we just got to face the facts, haven't we? As far as getting together, I mean, I did 2 projects with Robert. I did one that involved recording in Morocco, and I actually involved a bit of this and a bit of that, a bit of recording in Morocco.
But I mean, Robert, you know, he developed incredibly with his lyrics as well, because he hadn't written any songs before he came into Led Zeppelin. I must admit, I did encourage him.
And here the two of you are on stage together. Did it feel special to be playing the Zeppelin songs again with the man who sang them?
Well, yeah, of course, it was really good. This thing sort of went on the road though, and the shows that we were doing were really, really good, and sort of better really in the performance and character than this, which is still good, but it was done before we were doing any touring. So yeah, it was good, really good to work with Robert. I mean, it was very fruitful as far as the having new music and coming up with new ideas. It was cool.
And I'm sure the question comes up all the time, but it was just announced that I guess there was a tour offered by someone, and Robert Plant turned down $800 million to reunite and tour. Is that accurate?
Well, I don't know anything about it.
Uh-huh.
I really don't. So that it's quite. I've heard all manner of detail on this, and I thought, well, I don't know anything about this. I didn't know anything about it at all.
Right, so do you think that there's a chance that y'all would reunite and tour?
Well, I don't know. He's becoming very difficult, isn't he? I think we've got the wrong one sitting here, maybe.
So obviously,
but I must say, as far as that, I had heard a little whisper about it last night. But it's just not in my world. There's nothing to do. I never saw anything about any contracts or things.
Right.
So I just don't know.
You don't know
where
if
that
it's true.
comes from. Pardon?
But if it was up to you, you would love to reunite and tour.
Well, I love playing Led Zeppelin music. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm forward to playing.
Well, listen, I mean, Jimmy, I can't let you go without asking you. There was talk last year about Zepp getting together, doing Glastonbury 2010. Obviously hasn't happened so far, but Bono's got a bit of a back. He's knackered his back. So I was just wondering, would there be any possibility? Would you rule that out in future? Do you think, doing one of the big festivals?
I never ruled anything out in the future from the O2.
Are we going to see more Zeppelin? Is that something that you are actively working towards in the future?
I've got Led Zeppelin releases of studio outtakes, etc., which are coming out. They've already come out. Three albums have already come out. There's 2 more to come out. But as far as I'm concerned, we had one concert at the O2, so there's not much more I can say about that. I know I'll be playing next year.
And have there been tensions in terms of, I mean, I was speaking to Robert Plant a few days ago. He sees it very much, he's been the one that wanted to plough his own furrow post Led Zeppelin, whereas the rest of you, John Paul Jones, yourself, have been happier to get together. Is that true?
Well,
and why do you think that's true?
We've all had our solo careers,
of course you have,
solo entities, but look, here's the equation. If I was to go out in a solo capacity, I'd certainly play Led Zeppelin music because I love Led Zeppelin music and I really enjoy playing it. If John Paul Jones goes out in a solo capacity, I know he plays Led Zeppelin music within his set, and if Robert Plant does, he does too, if he's touring. So, and I know that even Jason Bonham, with the bands that he plays with, he's playing Led Zeppelin stuff. So there's something wrong with the picture if all of those 4 members aren't playing together. So here's the opportunity to do it.
There's a huge frustration when you're talking about live concert because everyone else knows that we're never going to be able to have that ever again, you know, so that's you're
Well, it looks like it, doesn't it?
yeah,
no,
I know that's not your fault particularly, but
no,
we blame the singer.
I didn't blame anybody. I said it wasn't my fault.
No, I know, I'm doing it on your behalf. It's a frustration, Jimmy, isn't it, really? I'm just speaking on behalf of the country here.
Hey, listen, Simon, we just got to face the facts, haven't we? The Celebration Day DVD came out, well, you know, whatever it was. It's Christmas before last, isn't it? Around that time, just before that. That's when the DVD was released. The actual concert was in 2007. And that's almost 5 years after the event. And the only way that I can look at this is to be quite realistic about it and say, well, that's quite an amount of time to pass without actually not a hint or a whisper or a nudge or a wink about maybe doing something for hoping that.
Because if it was just up to you and John Paul, you would do it, wouldn't you?
Well, how do you mean, no?
It's Robert Plant who doesn't want to do it.
I don't know whether he doesn't want to do it, but what I do know is that, or we were aware that he was going to do the Alison Krauss project, and that was sort of going to follow on from the O2, and so I suppose one might have thought, well, let's see what he's going to do after that, and then he did another project, and then another project. Always seemed to be another project coming up, and then we're sort of talking 5 years later, and well, we hadn't done another concert, so there we are.
Robert Plant appears to be the more reluctant one of the band to come together for concerts, for reunions, whenever you've been playing together. What is that about?
Well, I would say that on the previous couple of occasions that we got together, for example, Live Aid, that was pretty shambolic. And we'd also done a concert, we'd come together before for Atlantic Records to celebrate their 40th anniversary. And that overran by 6 hours before we went on. So, of course, we were a bit exhausted on that. And I think that everyone had a certain reluctance, or reticence, if you like, to the fact that if we were going to come together to play again, we really had to put everything into it. By that I mean time and commitment to it. Somebody was saying to me about Freddie Bannister was saying that he's got Led Zeppelin at Glastonbury. Well, I haven't been approached with that information from anybody who was an ex-band member, so it doesn't look very likely, does it?
Well, when Robert says the chances of it happening are zero, that has no wriggle room, it seems to me. You know, I mean, the Eagles said, you know, famously, we'll get back together when Hell Freezes Over, and then they release a live album called Hell Freezes Over. So, stranger things have happened.
Well, I guess it's his decision, isn't it?
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Do you think Zeppelin would have made it today, fundamentally?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I guess...
Well, the reality of it is it's just four extraordinary talents coming together and playing as one. You know, that's the thing, and that really sets it apart.
I think just our total approach was different, really. I think the music speaks for itself as to how different we were from all the other bands. But it was a band, a proper band, you see, working as a band. And it's easy to look back and see certain bands that you thought were bands at the time, but they weren't.
When I formed Led Zeppelin, I formed it with the idea and the ethos that it was going to change music. That's what I wanted to do, and it clearly did. It clearly did, and it brought to the forefront these master craftsmen that were involved in that band. Everything had a real sort of passionate drive to it. You certainly in the very early days of Led Zeppelin, I didn't know I'd still be talking like right now out here with you about it. But the reality of Led Zeppelin is that you sort of every year from 1980 when the group had to break up, that every year there's new musicians coming and listening to it. Led Zeppelin isn't something that sort of just has a revival every 10 or 15 years. It's sort of alive and well.